As much as I love our fits, it's so classic. It's really challenging for me to wear the color black because of my scalp psoriasis. Much more this first 2 weeks of Miss Universe Philippines. We've been really stressed and we've been getting less sleep. So hence my scalp psoriasis is really flaring up these days.
Me
How about
too.
you? How are you?
I'm flaring so bad. I'm having such a hard time because, like with lupus, when you're stressed, when same with psoriasis,
Yeah.
yes, or even with mental health,
Yes,
when you're
that's true.
stressed, there are triggers, and you can't decide when you are going to feel worse. So for me,
Yes.
parang my joints are swelling.
Mhm.
Today I had to pick very special shoes kasi yung isang paa swollen, yung other paa hindi. So it
Yes.
really depends.
I think yung common thread natin is how we also deal with, as you've said, mental health. Like, especially, we're in such a big and grand competition. Like, stress is inevitable. So, I feel like I may not be flaring up like you guys are physically, but on the inside, I've been really, really, it's been tumultuous for me. As someone who has been struggling with mental health, I feel like we all are experiencing that. But for me, it's very hard for me to open up about the struggles that I'm dealing with. But all the more, that's why we do it. That's why I do it, because it's a platform wherein we could, talk about the struggles that mirror also the struggles of other people. And I think here in Miss Universe Philippines, it's something that we are pushing forward, right? And in struggles with mental health, I think the more you talk about it, the more you get to engage other people to, have conversations about it as well. It's a struggle for me, but also I think there's more to that we're experiencing, right?
It's true. Because if there's one thing, I'm sure same with both of you, I've learned in this pageant, it's that the bravest thing you can be is vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I think especially when you're advocating for an
Mhm.
illness or for a difficulty, it takes so much bravery within yourself to show the universe that you are struggling. But in that struggle, in that empathy that you're giving other people, you're showing that you know what, there are other people like me too. And it gives them the strength to ask for help, to go within themselves, to heal themselves, but to also have the bravery to ask their communities, their family, or if they have the means to, medical support also.
Yeah. And so over the times for Miss Universe Philippines, although you guys, your struggles aren't seen physically, mine, I have to deal with it both physically, both mentally,
Yes.
emotionally. It's a big thing. Although a lot of people may think that psoriasis is just, wala lang, just psoriasis.
Yeah.
But for us warriors, it's really hard. And so I know that coming here in the Miss Universe platform is a brave thing for us to do, because not everybody is brave enough to actually share their stories, because there's still a lot of people who are in their closets, who's still hiding, who's still in denial. And by us showing up here and fighting for our advocacies, that's really a big thing. And it is a story of hope and inspiration that
Yes.
we share to the universe. And by just doing this, by being physically here, we're doing a whole lot more.
I know. As I've said, like, we're mirroring not just our stories, but the stories of other people who are going through the same thing. And I really love what you said about vulnerability. And I feel like it's the greatest strength. It's the greatest show of bravery for me when we get to open up about our vulnerabilities, no matter how hard it is for us to talk about it. We just engage people to also, ripple that effect to other people as well. Hopefully they engage people to, talk about their anxieties or their depression or their struggles. And I think with that, we empathize not just with them, but also with ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to be kind to ourselves.
It's hard to be kind to
Right?
yourself.
It is so hard. Sometimes you look in the mirror and because of all the noises like that are pushing all these negative things onto you, it's so hard to look at her and say, "Oh, you're beautiful. You're enough. You're good enough. You're everything."
We're also, like, we all went into an experience that has the probability of making us so much worse. Like you said, you're flaring, your psoriasis is flaring. For me, I'm entering a circumstance where I know my hair is gonna fall off. I know my joints are gonna swell. I know if I'm stressed enough. Like I was in a hospital before our screening. I didn't know if I was gonna make it just for the stress. So every day I live with this fear of, am I gonna make it to coronation? And then for mental health also, it's like you're putting yourself in a situation to be judged.
Yes.
And it's so hard to protect yourself, to want to help others, but know that you're also facing your own fears.
To protect your own peace, at the same time engage other people to maintain theirs as
and
well.
to have to do it with a smile.
Yes,
That's
that
the
is
word.
true.
With smile, with makeup, with hair,
with composure,
fashion.
with grace.
It's hard.
You know, I think that's one thing that we're talking about here. Like you see us, we see each other. Like we're all composed, we're all smiling right now, but there are struggles within us that are unseen, that we do not talk about. And I feel like this is such an important moment that we're actually talking about it right now.
And the fact that we're actually talking about it, that's how I was able to heal. At first, I had really this denial of accepting myself for who I truly am. And with that, I was hurting myself and also hurting the people. You guys are tearing up. That's why I'm tearing up. I know that everybody is just holding their tears back. But what really, I guess the struggle was for me was opening up towards my family. And the fact that I did not tell them that I was struggling, it's what hurt them the most. And I guess that's what hurts your family most, and your family as well, because they're very much open towards helping us, but we refuse to get help. But, you know, as long as I was able to share my story, accept myself for who I truly am, I was really able to get the right amount of help that I needed to rise above the pain and struggles. And that's why we're here in this platform. That's why we're sharing our stories to other psoriasis warriors, lupus warriors, mental health warriors, because we want to give back to the society. We want to give back to our respective communities because we know the power of storytelling. We know the comfort and the healing power that it has brought us. And I'm just super happy and proud of us that we are actually living our advocacies. So our advocacies is not just for this pageant.
Yeah, it's for us.
It's forever. We live with it forever.
Our advocacies, these are like the things that we have to live through.
Life.
It's our life.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorite quotes is that your advocacy doesn't, you don't choose your advocacy chooses you.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think what we're showing women or people in the universe is that if you find kindness within yourself, because I know it must have been hard for you to tell your family or for you to open up when you were having a hard time. For me, I always had this difficulty of, oh no, like I'm so weak if I tell somebody.
And nobody likes a weak person.
Nobody likes a weak person.
Nobody likes a weak person.
So for so
a
long,
sick person.
So for so long, I'm like, I'm limping. I'm in hospital, and I'm like, you know what? I'm totally fine. I'm happy. And this journey is really teaching me that the best way we can help people, the best way we can make a difference is by being honest.
Yes.
But most importantly, being honest with ourselves.
Yes.
And I'm learning that, like, for example, in the pageant, I'm so scared to say that there is a day where I might not be able to show up. But I'm learning that, you know what? It's a kind organization and it's an organization that supports women and that empowers women. And it's giving me the bravery to say, today is not a good day. But just because today is not a good day doesn't mean that I'm not a good person, that I'm doing my best. My best is enough, and a pause doesn't mean that my journey stops. You know, you can keep going, you can keep learning, you can keep growing as long as you have that patience and self-compassion within yourself.
And I think it's also important to know that although we have these unseen struggles, it's important that the people who are watching this know that we are still capable of doing and reaching and impacting our community. It doesn't limit our capabilities of doing good. Instead, it amplifies our voices and gives us so much power in our respective communities.
And to some, it might feel like oh, it's such a grand thing for you to do, like for us to do. Like we're here, we're putting ourselves out there, we're showing up, not just for them, but also for ourselves. But I don't want them to feel too pressured. Like it does not have to be such a grand act to show up for yourself.
Yes.
Like for me, every time I feel like I'm spiraling down, especially in my journey in mental health, I always remind myself that, hey girl, you're trying. Like if you see my socials, there's this specific word on my bio. It says trying. Because trying is already your best.
Yes.
Like half the battle is attempting.
It's so
to do
scary to
something.
try.
Yes. And when you try, I want you to think that it doesn't need to be something so big. Like sometimes our best looks different.
Yes, yes.
My
I agree.
100% could be like me just showing up today and trying my best. Or
Yes.
sometimes just me deciding to, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to get out of bed, I'm going to grab a coffee. And even if I stop and take a pause,
Yes.
it's my best. Like when you try something, when you push yourself to do something, when you open up conversations about you trying, it's already, inspiring you, not just the people who are struggling with the same things, but also even those who are not acknowledging the things that they're struggling with. And I think it's very, very important to remind not just ourselves, but even those who are watching, even you ladies, that we're all trying, we're all here, just existing, just trying and doing our best.
That's the thing. We are all doing our best.
That's
And I
true.
just want to do a little PSA that in this pageant, as a community of pageant lovers, you are promoting women who are empowered, who you want to advocate for good. But I think what you forget is that you too have to empower these women to feel empowered.
It's a two-way situation.
Yes, and it's so important to be kind and to foster that love a woman has for herself so that she can keep doing good. So what you might see, or not see rather, are our struggles. You might see imperfections. You might see what needs to be better or could be done in a different way. But what you need to focus on is that we are trying.
Yes.
We are doing our best, and we are all doing it with this purpose of being good for the people we care about, for our advocacies, and for our community. So I just we all ask for you to be kind to yourselves, to us, and to everybody.
It's true.
And that wraps this up.
I think that's the most important message that we could send out, not just to the ladies, but to every single person who's watching. You might see us here in a pageant, and you might think everything is, all composed. Everything is all complete for us, but on the inside, we're struggling. And I hope you, like what Nikki said, be kinder to not just the ladies, but to every single person that you meet with, because you never know the unseen struggles that they're dealing with on their daily life.
So aside from them, you already gave your messages. I'd also like to give a message for us three. I'd like to say that we're really doing a great job, and we are put in our position to voice out on our different advocacies because we are capable.
Yes, we are
And
capable.
we are limitless.
And we are as limitless as the universe itself, so
That's
watch out.
Such a nice conversation with you ladies.
It's been so fun.
More empowered.
Yes,
it feels so real.
It's so good to talk
So
about
real.
this.
Mhm.